Hello, I'm Gemma Lee. I am a family law solicitor here at Andrew Isaacs Law Limited. And today we are going to take a look at common asked questions in relation to cohabitation. So the first question that we're commonly asked is, what is a common law marriage? And there is a presumption, particularly with females that we see, that they can believe that they are a common law wife. Ultimately, there is no such thing. And this may be a difficult point to accept, as it is an expression that is often used. For example, when you are obtaining insurance quotes, they sometimes ask if you are deemed to be in a common law marriage. Unfortunately, even though it is used, it is certainly not significant in these types of proceedings. What if my partner leaves and stops paying the bills? Ultimately, this is dependent on whether the bills are in joint or sole names. If they are in joint names, you will be jointly liable and responsible for the debt. If the debt is in a sole name, then it is responsibility of the person whose name it is in. Importantly, your partner is not liable to pay maintenance to you, only to a child in accordance with the CMS calculation, and that's the Child Maintenance Service. This is quite different from married couples. Within cohabitation, it appears very much to be a contract situation, and so no formal rights and facilities as if you were married. Next question. We're not married and we live in my partner's property. Am I entitled to anything? Sadly, there is no simple answer to this question. However, the law provides no automatic right to a partner in these circumstances. But if you have contributed towards a deposit or provided money for significant improvement to the property, you may potentially have a claim. Very often these cases are not straightforward, and so legal advice, in our opinion, is essential. What if my partner will not leave our shared property? If you've not entered into an agreement as to how long you are going to live together and the arrangements for leaving the property, it will largely depend on how the property is owned or rented. If it is in joint names, then it may be hard in the short term to enforce someone to leave. In the long term, you may require the court's assistance. Careful considerations of the options will be required. There can be other factors which will need to be considered, such as whether there is any domestic abuse, threats of violence, and whether there are any children residing at the property. Next question. If we begin living together but are not married, does everything have to be split 50-50? Not necessarily. If you have decided something about the property that has been recorded on the property deeds or within a cohabitation agreement, then this will essentially and largely be followed. However, it can be challenged, and there are different areas of law that govern this area, which is quite complex. It can be possible in certain circumstances that someone ends up with nothing. If you require any advice in relation to cohabitation or the breakdown of your relationship, then please do get in touch with our offices so that you can obtain the necessary legal advice.